afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Star Wars Headlines here at Laughing Place. I'm Rebecca Mosley, the co founder, and with me is our Star Wars content director, Mike Celestino. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Good. Hi, how are you? Glad to be back talking more Lucasfilm and Star Wars stuff.
I'm doing well. I know that you've been doing your Who's the Bosk pod, so we have not been connecting quite as much. I've been doing some traveling, so it's nice to see your face again because it's been a while for me.
Yeah, just wrapped up season 3 of Who's the Boss last week. We did a discussion of Willow, the season premiere, the first couple episodes, and taking a hiatus through the rest of December, and we'll be back in the beginning of January with the Bad Batch season 2, which is a good segue for our first topic that we're going to talk about today.
Exactly. The trailer for season 2 has dropped on Twitter. I'm going to play it here, Mike, as we chat. But
Okay.
what, if anything, kind of just jumped out at you as you were checking this out this morning?
Well, I'll say I thought this trailer had been released already, but I think they just showed. I think they showed this opening scene at Star Wars Celebration, and that's what I was remembering because I have seen this part before. And then when they got to
Oh,
the other stuff, it was new to me. Like I think there's a character voiced by Wanda Sykes, the comedian, or I'm
yeah.
pretty sure it's Wanda Sykes. But I was like, oh, Wanda Sykes is on this show now. But yeah, looks like a fun season. That character sounds like Wanda Sykes to me.
I agree.
But
That's immediately who jumped out to me
yeah,
in my head as well. I'm excited by the scope here that we're seeing. I will admit that I'm not happy with the fact that the word heist is appearing in yet another Star Wars.
they can't get away from these heists. There's so many heists in Star Wars.
They're going to make me like heist uh, films or storylines at some point, I guess. If they keep, it's like the modern quicksand. When we were
Right.
little, it was like quicksand was in just about every series. At some point, had a quicksand episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was the moment that I got really excited, Mike. I
Yeah.
don't
So
know.
they showed that at in the footage they showed at Celebration 2, this Wookiee Jedi whose name I'm blanking on.
Is it
Um
Gungi?
that's right, from the Clone Wars animated series, I believe. Apparently he survived Order 66 and he's around for the Bad Batch. So we'll be getting some more of Gungi. I mean, the sad part, I mean, I guess it's sad either way. Either he died in Order 66 or he's got to die here or somewhere later on in the time because he can't. I don't know. There's too many Jedi. Honestly, to me, I've felt this way for a while, but it keeps getting worse and worse. There's too many Jedi around after Order 66. That's a Dave Filoni thing. I think he wants all these Jedi to have survived. But I think it's important that Luke is the only Jedi. You know, that's a line in The Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. When gone am I, the last of the Jedi will you be? You know, it's important that he's the last one. So I don't know. That's just my little irk irk.
My counterpoint to that is it makes the Emperor's survival more palatable to me that this many Jedi also survived Order 66, because otherwise I still do not understand how they could rip that victory on Endor away from me as they
Yeah.
did.
Don't you
When
mean more palpable? Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, good try there. And then we had the poster art also making an appearance on Twitter. I'd been keeping an eye out for this trailer because um, there was one of the show creators, one of the show direct. I sent you the tweet. I can't remember the title of the individual. I'm sorry. I'm going to blank on it here. But there had been some kind of what would you say? Tweets that led me to believe that we had some. Oh, I guess
Was
our
it Jennifer Corbett?
yes, thank you. Um, that those tweets kind of had me taking a peek online periodically to see that the trailer had dropped. And initially, the way I discovered the trailer was through tweets that it was appearing under the extras tab on Disney Plus.
Okay.
And then I went to go tell our team, and I saw that our editor had spotted it on Twitter. and
Okay.
it asked the team to add it that way, a little bit kind of behind the scenes there. But that's not the only trailer
Well,
that's
wait,
been.
we
Oh,
should
sorry,
just
go ahead.
I also want to mention, so there's 16 episodes in season 2 of The Bad Batch, just like season 1. But the interesting thing about this to me, this season, is we're getting 2 episodes on the premiere date, January 4th, and then there's going to be two, one a week until the middle of the season. We're going to get 2 episodes on the same day, and then back to one a week again into the finale, which will be 2 episodes again. So you'll get 2 at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. And then I think 5 of those weeks at the end there are going to overlap with The Mandalorian season 3, because that starts March 1st. And there's still going to be 5 Bad Batch weeks, including 6 total episodes coming out alongside The Mandalorian, which is interesting because there's just that much Star Wars coming out that they can't even space them out enough to separate them anymore. But yeah, it should be a busy, fun year already at the beginning.
And another thing that people were talking about, and is totally not at all related to the world of Star Wars, but just kind of odd in general. And did you notice this, Mike? That the narrator ends by saying parents, and then Star Wars Bad Batch, yada yada yada.
So is that something that's audible, or is that only in the caption?
No, it's also part of the. You can hear it when you play when you're watching the trailer. Jimmy and I both caught it. I joked with him that maybe this was indicative of marketing back when the leadership was making comments about animation. But hey, let's just move on to.
That is strange. I have to go back and listen to it. Maybe
But
they're
yeah,
because
it's
the
just kind of funny.
Bad Batch are kind of like surrogate parents to Omega. Is that what?
I'll be honest. To me, it felt like the sentence was like, parents, don't forget, or something. It made it seem like that it was being packaged in a way that this was airing in something that would remind parents that somebody else in the family should be watching it.
Oh,
But seriously, in all honesty, it's just a single word. So this is total, like, just
Seems like a
extrapolation,
mistake.
my own. Huh?
So it's probably a mistake, like a technical error, or
It comes off like a total
okay.
mistake.
Oh, it's not in
Oh,
the
Doobie
Twitter
says it's
trailer.
not in the Twitter trailer.
Is it on the one on Disney Plus? Because that's where I watched it. I
Yeah,
didn't hear it. Okay.
yeah. I
Okay.
think so. I know it's on the YouTube one. I think I heard it on the Disney Plus one.
Okay.
I saw it so many places today. I'm not exactly sure which one is the one, but like Doobie
Right.
says, total mistake, and I'm having fun extrapolating it based on some of the drama happening around the leadership of the
Sure.
Disney company in the moment. So yeah,
Either
just a
way,
little.
it's under a month until the season 2 premiere of The Bad Batch, and it's in the YouTube trailer. All
And then
right.
another trailer dropped in recent days from Lucasfilm, and that one, unlike this one to me is pure perfection when it comes to. I know you have your qualms with it, so
Well,
let's
okay.
talk about
I'll
it.
I'll start by saying this came out before we recorded the last episode of Who's the Boss. We already discussed this on there, but I wanted to talk about it with you because you weren't there available for that episode because we talked about Willow and you hadn't been watching that show. But yeah, you know what? I am a sourpuss. I was nitpicking it, but I am super excited for this movie. I have very high hopes for it. I think I was bummed when Steven Spielberg dropped out as the director because I figured, oh, he should finish out the series. He directed the previous 4 Indiana Jones movies, and now it's going to be James Mangold, the director of Logan. And I like that movie. I like some of his other films. I think from what I've seen in his passion for this film on Twitter and stuff, like he always comes to the defense when people are critiquing or yeah, there's the shot that everybody has been nitpicking, that the horseback shot there, but it just seems like Mangold is really passionate about this project, and he might very well be the right filmmaker to come aboard and wrap up this franchise in a appropriate uh way that makes everybody feel like a button got put on the end here that's worthy of the Indiana Jones name. And I think this trailer is very well executed for the most part. This is, I think it's pretty close to what they showed at D23 Expo. So I kind of already seen this, but at that, when they showed it there, everybody was so emotional and you couldn't really hear the dialogue that well. It was just kind of like images being thrown at you. And then now you can kind of dissect a little bit more about what's going on there. And just seeing Sala again really hit me. And everybody's trying to figure out, oh, what exactly is happening here, and there are a lot of theories floating around. But I am very excited for Indy 5. So don't get me wrong.
This trailer to me is just a study in brilliant short film. I mean, in that it just, the way that they at the beginning of it, he's not wearing his fedora. He's clearly kind of hung up the whip, and then you hear Sala plead with him, and then you have it kind of sitting over here on the table, and he's looking at it, and then you hear the refrains of that tune. You have somebody scream Indy at the top of their lungs like Marion did. You have a moment that's like a giant boulder rolling. There are just so many beats that connect you to how you first fell in love with Indy. Just so brilliant. I was just blown away by the trailer and how well they manipulated me to be excited. I loved it for that.
Yeah, you mentioned how he was dressed at the beginning, and it was very jarring to see him wearing a blue shirt. I don't think we've ever seen Indiana Jones wearing blue before. He's always got the earth tones on. He's always dressed in browns and tans, So when he's talking to Sala, he's got like a blue button-down shirt on. It feels the opposite of Indiana Jones, and I think that's what they were going for. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff in this trailer.
Smart. I just, like I say, I'm in love with I'm in love with the dynamics that they use here to get me pumped for the film. I don't tend to do a lot of dissect into the trailer to try and discern plot or whatever. I let it grab me and just work on my emotions. Is this the poster art, Mike?
Yeah, so this is the teaser poster without the title on it, even though the title is now revealed in the trailer.
How do you feel about the title?
I'm fine with it. I don't know. People seem to be hung up on this word dial. I don't know why. I know Kyle made the joke on our Slack that it was like the soap, dial soap.
Because it's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah, Dial of Destiny. When I think of dial in the context of antiques, I think of like a sundial. But I'm, I don't know. Again, there's a lot of theories about what the dial actually is, where they're going. I hate it when people tell me about their dreams, but the night after this trailer came out, I had dreams about this movie, and in my dreams, I was very frustrated that I was watching the film and I couldn't tell, like an hour in, I still didn't know what they were going after. Like they were so secretive about the plot that they didn't even tell you the plot in the actual movie itself. So, yeah, it's going to be a long 6 months until we see this.
And to get you through those 6 months, there's an epic preview over in Empire magazine. They even have 2 different cover art if you are looking for that. But some of the images inside include one of Harrison Ford aboard a boat, other characters from the film. So I hesitate to say too much for those people who want to stay very spoiler free. So I just I'll leave it with characters from the film. And as Mike says, as Doobie quoting Mike, I hate it when people.
Is anyone interested in other people's dreams? It's just so inconsequential. I don't know.
What do you think? How's Willow going? My husband has watched the first 2 episodes and very much enjoyed it. It's connected with his youth.
I gotta say, I said this to Jeremiah when we were on our road trip on Monday. I'm more into Willow right now than I have ever been in my life. And I was old enough to see the original in the theater. I was 8 years old when that came out. Saw it in the theater. I thought it was fine. Saw it a couple times after that as a kid. It was never top tier for me, even among Lucasfilm. I vastly preferred Indy and Will and Star Wars to Willow. And then I saw it again as an adult a couple times. I thought it was pretty good, not great. But right now, I'm all aboard the Willow train, and I think Jonathan Kasdan, the showrunner, has done a great job of, to me, taking what works about the original film, continuing that, expanding on that world, and then also ironing out the things that didn't work in the movie. The visual effects are amazing, wonderful in the series, and seeing the movie on the big screen again last week, I was reminded that you can see the seams on a lot of the VFX in that film. They don't hold up that well.
Okay.
And they've really corrected that. And the humor, I think, works better for me in the series than it did in the movie. But we're not up to the brownies coming back yet. So these little mini characters that are like the size of action figures that run around, they felt out of place for me in the movie. The humor was dialed up a little bit too high on them, so we'll see how that
Okay.
plays when they come back in the show. But overall, I'm really enjoying Willow quite a bit. You haven't seen the movie or the show, right?
No, it's a genre of film I typically shy away from.
Yeah.
So have
Yeah,
yet.
I mean, I like fantasy. I like Lord of the Rings. I like Game of Thrones. We started the Lord of the Rings TV show. We haven't finished that yet, but this I think this is a really good blend of fantasy and then a contemporary kind of attitude and sense of humor. Great cast of characters. I think all the new characters are really likable, and you care about them. You care about their well-being. And then it's great to see Warwick Davis back, of course, as
Mhm.
he's like the glue that holds it all together. And um it really picks up. You know, he doesn't really come in until the end of the first episode, but after he does, I think the ball starts really rolling. And I actually thought this third episode was my favorite so
Okay.
far, this week's episode.
And Mike's reviews are available on Laughing Place. We'll have a link below so that you can check that out. Perhaps he will point out moments that you didn't initially notice in the way that Mike will bring them to your attention. Let's see, Mike. We've got some new cover art available for a
Yeah.
novel.
Yeah, so this is the novel that's going to take place between the first and second video game in this Jedi. First one was called Jedi Fallen Order. The next video game is called Jedi Survivor, and this novel is set between the two. So you have like it bridges the gap between the two stories. It's called Jedi Battle Scars by Sam Maggs, coming from, I think, Del Rey publisher, and looking forward to reading this. And that's going to be another big thing coming from Star Wars next year, is the continuation of this video game that everybody, I think, by and large, this game was very well received. I really enjoyed playing through this, and I actually want to go back if I find the time, which is very tough for me, but go back and maybe play it on easy mode and just kind of run through the story, just so I have a refresher
I was gonna
of
say,
everything that happened. Yeah.
as someone who's not a gamer, especially these kinds of first person game experiences, I'm familiar with this thanks to the many people who stream their gaming, or will, even in some cases, some will do full walkthroughs and others will do kind of clip shows where they take you through kind of moments in time and then all the cut scenes, and so you can really get the story of the game. So if you are somebody like me who doesn't play, check it out on YouTube. You can look for Jedi Fallen Order, and you can find individuals who have done this. And I'm waiting. I'm sure the same will be said for the upcoming title as well, which I guess we're going to be learning more about. There was a little write up about it on the site.
Yeah, so there's the Game Awards is coming up, and they're going to be revealing more information about the Jedi Survivor game. I'm not sure the date on the award show. Do you have that there?
Let's see. I will scroll and find it.
Okay.
December 8th. Oh, so
Oh,
tomorrow.
great. That's tomorrow.
There you
So
go.
let's be prepared, I guess, for more news to come out about Jedi Survivor tomorrow as we wait for that sequel.
Cal has become quite a popular character himself. I've noticed
Yeah.
his name popping up much more here and there. Is the time frame for this such that we could see him pop up in any of these programs that are appearing on Disney Plus? I am bad with timeline, as you know.
Yeah, so Jedi Fallen Order takes place, I think, roughly, I want to say 5 years after Order 66. And again, it's another Jedi who survives Order 66. But I like Cal. I've got his action figure here. I never took it out of the box because I like the way it was displayed in there. But yeah, I think it's possible. I want to say, so Andor takes place, I think, 10 years after the game. The
Okay.
question is whether Cal will survive because I'm guessing this game series is going to be a trilogy. You'll have Fallen Order, Survivor, and then one more. The question is whether Cal survives that, because again, you can't have all these Jedi running around, and then why didn't they show up to help Luke fight the Emperor or whatever? Like, that's the question I have, but we'll find out. Yeah, the reason that he wouldn't show up in something like Andor is because really, I don't think we know what happens yet to him in the games yet.
Okay.
So it would be weird to reveal, like, okay, he survived after the games before we know the finale of the game series, you know?
For sure. Continuing with game news, and a game I'm actually enjoying very much and have many hours invested in so far, is the Skywalker Saga. Mike, you've had a chance to play it recently, I know, and write about the new items that have arrived.
Yeah, so I was sent a review copy of the Skywalker Saga, the Galactic edition. I think I played a demo for the game many months ago, maybe even years ago. And then I saw a 20-minute demo of the game at E3, probably in 2019. That might have been the last E3 that ever happened. But it was great to finally get my hands on the game and get to spend some time with it. I only really found time to play through the original Star Wars movie and The Empire Strikes Back, but I had a lot of fun with it. And the cool thing about this Galactic edition is that it comes with all the characters. So every downloadable character pack that's purchasable is instead included in the Galactic edition of the game. And you've got characters from not only the original trilogy, but it's the Skywalker Saga. So you got the 9 films in the Skywalker Saga, and that's the story you're playing through, and those are the characters you have. But also you have characters from Rogue One, Solo, a Star Wars story, and literally every TV show. So you can see the list there: Mandalorian, Bad Batch, what else? Andor, Book of Boba Fett, Clone Wars, Rebels, Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's Reva, the Inquisitor. It was crazy to play as Lego minifigures of characters that they're not even around long enough to have actual Lego minifigures made of them yet. Like Dedra from Andor you could play as her in the game now. So I thought that was super neat. And I got like Grand Admiral Thrawn, who does have a Lego minifigure in real life, but then just to be able to run around and blast stormtroopers as Grand Admiral Thrawn is pretty fun. And those games are not, they're not adherent to any kind of the Star Wars canon. They're just really like having fun with the property and the characters and the vehicles and the locations. And really, like, fun is the emphasis. It's not terribly challenging. And I think you've said in the past, that's what you find appealing about it. It's really more about having this sandbox to play in with all of those very familiar icons from the Star Wars galaxy.
I find it a tremendous way to unwind. Some people color, some people read, some people take a walk. I find I just put this in and I play for a little while and just enjoy. It's not so intense that you kind of you're getting wrapped up in it. It's just enjoyable. I have a Switch, so I'll even throw my Switch onto my exercise bike panel.
Okay.
And then just kind of take a leisurely bike ride while I'm
that's
shooting
fun.
the galaxy.
The problem I have is that the way my brain works, I'm like a completionist when I play video games. Like, I did. What was the last one I did that I had to get like 100%? Like Metroid Dread was one of the recent ones for Nintendo Switch. But when I'm walking around this Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, there's so many things to do, side missions, things to collect. You got to get all these little glowing blue bricks, and every time you get one, it tells you how many you've gotten out of like something like 2,500 total. And I'm like, what? It was tough for me to get one.
Yep.
And there's 2,500 of them in the game. Like, I don't know how I'm ever going to finish it, but it's nice to know that there's that much like replayability and just content that you can explore in
I've
that game.
completed 8 of the 9 storylines, and most of them at completion, it showed that I was 30%
Yeah.
completed with that particular film world. And then you can go and you can look you can look and see like the universe itself. Each planet, has its own kind of collection of activities that you can explore as well. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. The only one that concerns me are the time trials, because I'm terrible when it comes to like you have to hit this one, this one, this one within a certain time frame. So I have a feeling I'm gonna have to like get my son to come and complete those in order to hit that 100%. That's what I had to do with Jurassic Park when I was doing the Jurassic Lego worlds. I
Yeah.
in order to reach the 100%, I had to bring in my son. But if you are an Xbox user and have the Game Pass, wanted to let you know that it is now available for that as part of that Game Pass. So you can play it as part of that subscription
Okay.
Game Pass over there at Xbox. That just happened yesterday. So exciting news for Xbox users. Continuing with Star Wars at home, Bring Home the Galaxy week 8 has happened. Oh, Mike, you wanted to touch on a comic you're reading before we talked about Bring
Oh,
Home the
yeah, I
Galaxy.
didn't have time to write the review yet, but I just read Hidden Empire #2. This just came out today. I went to the comic shop and picked it up this morning. And if you're following along, you know that this takes place in between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It's all about Kira here is the crime boss of Crimson Dawn, the criminal organization. She's also, Han's ex-girlfriend from Solo: A Star Wars Story. And right now she's trying to take out Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. She just wants to rid the galaxy of the Sith. And the way she's doing that is she's trying to resurrect an ancient Sith, because she kind of feels like the best way to fight these guys is to fight fire with fire, and she wants to try to resurrect this ancient Sith to battle them. It's pretty interesting. It's written by Charles Soule, one of my favorite current Star Wars writers, and I'm still writing my review of this issue, but it'll be up later on laughingplace.com.
Very, very cool. So be sure to check that out. Once again, I'll be sure to add a link below once that's published, along with the other headlines that we've been talking about. But there's been a wide variety of items released with Bring Home the Galaxy. We talked about quite a few of them on Barely Necessities. That's our Disney merchandise show that happens Tuesdays at 4:00 on this YouTube channel. But Mike, I thought maybe hear what you think about a few of these as well. This ATST and Chewbacca. Is this like a re-release of a classic item, or is this something that hasn't been out before that they are now bringing to us? Because it feels familiar.
Yeah, it might be a new sculpt, but they have done this ATST. I wanted to see if I had mine, or I do have it. I have the one from the 90s. So
Okay.
that was a re-release already, because it came out in 1983 when Return of the Jedi came out. Then they re-released it in the 90s for the Power of the Force 2 series, and then I'm sure it's been out a couple times since then. But yeah, they just keep doing it. But this time it comes with Chewbacca, because there's that part in the movie where he steals it from the Empire. This is what's really cool and new. This is the Endor bunker that was announced some months ago from Hasbro. Now they're finally showing off the final sculpted version. So this is a famous location from Return of the Jedi. I think it comes with that scout trooper. It didn't happen this time, Tubi. I did not have I did not have it at arm's reach. I thought I might have, but it wasn't there. I'm excited for that bunker playset, though. I like those kind of playsets. Actually, I think the character he comes with is a rebel trooper in a scout trooper disguise, which is like, how do you know the difference? But yeah, I like that a lot. I think that looks pretty cool.
Oh, and then over at Harvey's, they have a Boba Fett bag coming. You can find more details about that. The Rock Love jewelry that's arrived. Some hard drives featuring Star Wars characters like Darth Vader, and this one illuminates, and you can see Darth Vader illuminated, the lettering on the side, so it's got kind of an eerie red glow. So Love Pop a few holiday cards for this one's particularly cute with Grogu. Little Grogu. So lots of fun there from the Bring Home the Galaxy Week 8. I feel like this is Mike's general pattern. Eat, sleep, roll the galaxy, repeat.
Yeah, especially now that I've got my New Republic Marshall badge.
Check it out, everybody. Mike did some shopping when he was at the Disneyland Resort.
Yeah, so this is available now at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at the Resistance Supply. This one is actually new, and it's got a magnet on the back, so you can put it wherever you want, on your clothing or what have you. And it's right out of the Mandalorian. I think it's pretty close to a 1-to-1 replica of the prop from the Mandalorian that Cara Dune receives when she becomes a Ranger of the New Republic.
I really do like that. That is cool. That is striking. It's a good looking collectible. Yeah. And Vera Bradley has a couple of new Star Wars offerings. They've got one featuring Darth Vader. I can tell you, a friend of mine has purchased Vera Bradley blankets before. These are soft, cozy, and warm. So if you are looking for something to have a little bit of Star Wars in the home and yet be cuddly and warm, take a look at Vera Bradley. They've also unveiled a line related to Grogu. A lot of the Clan of Two representation among the items there, including this throw. Once again, cuddly, warm. It's that time of year. I got my tea because I'm cold. I need cuddly and warm. So that's what I've gravitated to here. So that'll do it for us as far as Star Wars headlines, Mike. As we wrap up, I want to let people know that Laughing Place Television, it's a 24/7 channel. If you are interested in Disney news and information, laughingplace.com /TV. You can get wait times, you can get various little news stories, a lot of fun going on over there. And then when shows like this happen, it pops up live over there, as it did earlier today when Kyle and Doobie were talking about the latest headlines this morning. Also wanted to be sure you know that this background, if you like Star Wars, it's from Roosevelt's. It's Deck the Hoth. The team at Roosevelt has been very kindly outfitting a couple of our team members here. So I wanted to be sure y'all knew about the Star Wars holiday designs they've got over there. If you are looking for something this season, check out Roosevelt's. For Rebel Crumb, it's various ships represented as gingerbread cookies. And then they've got one called Deck the Hoth, which is strings of Christmas lights and various tauntauns and wampas, lots of hot things. So, yeah. What you got going on, Mike? What's on your docket, so to speak, now? Now that
I thought it'd be a slow month, December, but it's not. Tonight I'm going to a Stranger Things immersive experience, which should be interesting.
Okay.
Something we don't ordinarily cover, which is a little outside of our usual sphere, but I'm curious to see it and write about it. And then what's up tomorrow? I'm going to Universal to check out Grinchmas at Universal Hollywood. And then there's an art exhibit coming up at the Huntington Library that's Disney related that I'm going and covering that.
That
over the
sounds
weekend.
amazing. And I'm such a
Yeah.
fan of the Huntington. Have you been to the Huntington before?
Yeah, we have been there
Okay.
just to walk around and check it out.
Yeah,
But
because so many shows throughout the 70s were shot there.
mhm.
And so it's like one of those locations. I know you and Jeremiah on your road trip had to make sure you stopped by the Puente Hills Mall, right?
Yeah,
And that,
I just happened to see that it was on the way back from Palm Springs. So it's like, let's go. I've never been. I've always wanted to go, and he felt the same way. So we tracked down the exact locations of the Back to the Future scene where the DeLorean travels back in time.
oh, and while I have you on air, before we say
Yeah.
farewell, I have to let you know it was we were also listening to Sirius XM the same time you and Jeremiah were, because we heard that Donald Duck singing from the Mouse Pack album, that it was so new to us. Gideon took a picture of it so that we could check it out when we got home. My son took a picture of it. When I got home, in our Slack was that same serious song and everything from you, because you were asking about it too. Oh, I am so glad that we stumbled on that on Sirius, because I have since listened to other songs on that album, Mike. It is a hoot.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was very funny that Donald was the one singing a Frank Sinatra song because
I,
he
I
couldn't have
later on
a
I
more of an
later on
opposite
tossed on
voice.
"Ain't That a Kick in the Head" by Goofy.
Okay.
And it is epic. It is epic, Goofy. I know Doobie shared a bit of it this morning, so had to pass that along to you too. That great minds think alike. You and my son both sharing screen images of Sirius XM to find out more about Mouse Pack. It's available on all streaming, so if you want to check it out, look, YouTube Music, Spotify, all those different ones. Mouse Pack, lots of fun, classic, kind of those Sinatra, Dean Martin standards sung by Mickey and friends, which is just yeah, unreal. So much fun. Well, thanks as always, Mike, for keeping us up to date on all that's happening in theme parks on the West Coast, and especially Star Wars headlines here during this time slot. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.